I'm Steven Zarnfaller, and I work for Medical Aid Films. Hold on there. Just a short presentation. I'm the head of programs. We're based in London, and we work globally, creating really interesting digital media and communications to help transform health workers, communities globally. And some of the themes that we cover, but we do lots of different health, cover lots of different health issues: maternal, newborn, and child health, global girls' education, mental health. We're doing a lot of work there, and well-being, hypertension, a lot of work in COVID, as you can imagine, over the year, not just globally, but also in the UK with the British Medical Association, malaria, and so on. We were founded in 2007 by two doctors that were working in Darfur, supporting the clinics in that area, and they started to notice, people are using dirty knives, just lots of different things, like easy things that could be taken care of and improve health outcomes radically. So, they couldn't go everywhere. So they when they got back to the UK, they decided they would, form this NGO and create media that can be easily sent around to lots of different folks. So we work in a partnership structure. We bring together health experts from all over the world and locally, depending on where the content is being made. And then we connect into content makers, so film producers, script writers, animators from all over the world. And we create what we consider to be really engaging and very accessible digital content, which is, even more and more valuable these days, with pretty much everyone having access to either a mobile phone or a computer. And hopefully all of our work empowers health workers, individuals, communities, and you name it, with important knowledge and skills. Just to give you a sense of our reach, our film library, which is completely free to access on YouTube, contains over 600 films. They're viewed in over 183 countries. We have pretty much 10 million views online a year. One film that we did with the WHO through the PMNCH network, I think got like 115 million views. So this kind of content is, can really go viral, can reach a lot of people. We have worked in 45 languages, and then we partner with over, partners in 65 plus countries. So the innovation growing up. So our innovation is the film. So it's wrapped in a pretty package, yet very impactful. It's called Growing Up, and it's a film series that we did quite a while back. And you'll see that it's a bit dated, in July of 2015, right? The date's right there. The film takes place and was filmed in Kibera in Nairobi, Kenya, and follows peer educators and medical professionals who care for young people in that challenging environment. The three films are aimed to educate young people around important sexual and reproductive health issues of that area. And it was produced for use in community education. So the peer educators, the medical professionals, they would use it as a tool when they're going from place to place, trying to impart like this critical information. The film itself was the innovation, and then the innovation was expanded through a strategic partnership we have with a Canadian tech education company called Luma One. We use their interactive video system that improves learning experience through a digital self-learning technology. So it can be used, by an individual, or it can be used as a tool for someone, having a discussion around these important issues. The platform allows us to select from an array of interactive prompts that are automatically embedded into the film, depending on what the learning needs. So you could have choices of polls, questions, discussions, all of that, and many more This film, I think we did about 2 years ago. Since then, the technology has improved. They have more features, and they also developed a way to format the films for mobile use, which is important, obviously, because these days people use their cell phones, or everyone has access to cell phones much more than they did like even 2 years ago. And you will see that the film, while very, very simple, with simple questions, includes interactive stop points, questions designed to engage the viewer depending on what the learning need is in that particular area. The content was developed through a standard participatory research process where we identified the specific information needs of young people around sexual reproductive health in Kenya, particularly in Kibera, and to ensure that the characters and contexts were relevant and relatable to the audience. The only drawback that I will tell you up front is that the film needs to be watched on the Luma One platform. They have different features, they have different, you can select different bandwidths for your film to help with that, but we find that it works best in an urban environment, and we've used this film in Juba, in Nairobi, and in Kampala. But I think when you go out to really far-reaching areas with very low connectivity, it becomes an issue. So we'll watch some of the film. I'll take you through some of the interactive prompts. And then when we're done with that, I can answer any questions that you may have. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Great. Thanks, Heather. Okay, here we go.
We're not hearing the sound, Stephen.
From Kenya, the community health worker.
You're not hearing the sound?
Now it's working. Thanks.
Oh, good. Phew. Okay. I'm just really bad with technology, so I always get worried. Let's start again.
I do a lot of sexual reproductive health, speaking to young adults on puberty and growing up. I think it's important for the young people to be well informed about their bodies and the changes taking place in puberty, growing up. Growing up is in stages. And from childhood, somebody gets to now the teenage part of it. Girls' bodies changes during puberty. We say it's between that age of 10 to around 19.
Ooh, okay. Sorry, I played this before. So anyway, the question is, if you were looking at this for the first time, certain parts of the girl's body start to grow during puberty. Do you know which ones? You click on those areas and you check your answer. And I was right.
The hips are growing, breasts are growing. The vagina also tends to grow.
So again, sorry about that, folks. But usually if you're watching it, I played it like 3 times, so I think it's starting to remember me. The hair, again, it's the same situation where it grows on a woman. You check and you can continue.
Hair growing into the pubic area. That's under the armpits and on the pubic area. That's the time the girls also start receiving their menstrual periods. Menstrual cycle is when a girl begins to bleed. That is usually from age 10 to around 15. And the bleeding becomes regular sometimes, and it varies per cycle. If it comes on monthly basis, and if we are able to count the date and the date when the girl started bleeding and predict the next bleeding date, then that's a cycle.
This is another interesting feature. So a lot of times, well, for this film, there was a peer educator that was taking the person through the film. And this is a stopping point where they can discuss menstruation. So how would you describe menstruation to a peer, one of your friends? Have a think. If you're alone and you want to record a short audio response, you can click here. You record it, and then you keep it, and then you have it for later. You can listen back to it, see how you sound. You can practice it many times if you like.
When I met a group of young girls, I talked to them about puberty, changes that are taking place in their bodies. When they hit that period, that's when they can get pregnant. And that's when I come in as a sexual reproductive health worker.
Boys equally go through quite a number of changes. Physically, some might develop veins, or what we call the vocal cords will change. And some will also have the shoulder broadened, so they're looking a little bit huge.
So I've already done this. You would select it like the other one in these areas. If you don't get it right, almost, and then it has an explanation. Continue.
For hair, there's pubic hair that forms. Testicle will actually begin becoming more harder, and that one shows there's a huge production that is happening with the penis. It becomes larger, in particular during morning hours, especially for after they begin puberty, they begin having an erection. We will feel like, hey, I felt like there's something that stretched. But basically, you're looking at a child who is now beginning the process of puberty and understanding that there's something happening in their bodies.
Night ejaculation is when a boy is sleeping, the sperms tend to come out during that dream.
So again, this is an interesting way to ask a question with multiple answers. It's a sign that a boy has indecent thoughts. No, it's quite rare. No, it's normal. It's a normal part of puberty. Yes, and many boys experience it.
And it's very normal for the boys. It's not like they were thinking something sexually. No, it's very normal during that time. A lot of people think that puberty is only about physical changes. It has also got emotional changes, like both boys and girls can feel sexually attracted towards each other, become shy, feel stressed out, express pressure. Mood changes is right now, I'm smiling, I'm laughing. Then in 1 minute, when I turn my back, I'm sad. And you don't even know what is happening to me. It's just change. And that is what we call mood swing.
Another puberty comes with emotional changes. Take turns to share your experience with a peer. So it's for discussion. It's more of the same throughout the film. So we can stop it there.